You know, this isn't one of those elections where we're talking much about third-party candidates. We don't think they're out there, but they are. RFK is still on the ballot in Wisconsin. Jill Stein is still on the ballot in Pennsylvania and Michigan. Should these candidates be worried about it?
Yes, because this may come down to a couple thousand people in Michigan, right? And if Jill Stein can capture a couple thousand people in Michigan, RFK Jr. can capture a couple thousand people in Michigan, they can upset the apple cart and determine the election. I've been covering this on my show for 3 years now, and I think people have underestimated the impact of RFK, not to win, not even to attract a majority of independents, right? He's attracting a radical, specific group of people, same kind of people that attract Jill Stein, that might be enough to tip 1 or 2 swing states. That's the threat that they present. Most independents want an alternative. They don't want RFK. They don't want Jill Stein. They are not real independents. But these people fill a void for a certain group of people. Right now, Stein's people have overtly said their objective is to beat Kamala Harris. Right. If you want to beat Kamala Harris, you want to throw a wrench in the system, you want to protest Gaza, you want to do any number of things, Jill Stein is here for you. But most of all, they are the candidates not of independents, but of people like Putin, of Trump, and of disruption.
Samantha, what do you think?
Well, I suppose I beg the question, like, what do you do? What do you do if you're Kamala Harris or with the
You do exactly what she's doing. Yeah. She's revealing Jill Stein. She's running ads against Jill Stein. They're calling him out and saying, what I've been saying is, if you're a real independent, don't waste your vote. Don't fall for the trick. It's a wasted vote if you put it toward one of these people.
I'd be really focused less on the third parties, but more on the newer voters that are coming out and figuring out if they're actually voting for the parties that they want to, right? I think one of the bright spots in the early voting numbers was the amount of newly registered voters. And I think that is a beautiful bright spot. I don't necessarily share your same view that it's as dangerous as it is having the third parties on those states, but I could be wrong.
No.
In Michigan, we know there is a large Arab American voting base. Over 100,000 there voted uncommitted in the Democratic primary. Now, they might not be going out and voting for Donald Trump, but how concerned should VP Harris be about this group?
I think she should be concerned. I'll never forget on 2016, watching the reviews coming in, the reviews. It's all
reviews coming in. Yeah.
It's all theater. Yeah. You know, watching the exact number of votes that Hillary Clinton needed to win certain states. They went to Jill Stein. They went to Gary Johnson, I think his name was.
Yep.
People who
it was.
And I have to ask, like, what is their end game? Like, she wants to hurt Kamala, but then what does she want to do? What do they want to do? I've never figured that out.
Disruptor?
Power. Some of them want power, want influence, want money. Jill Stein's a grifter.
Yeah, I was going to say, oftentimes you're in the grifter zone when you don't know what money is behind you. You don't know what foreign powers.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I think the question here about how both campaigns, Harris in particular, can offset those votes is by making sure she has more voters coming out who she knows are going to support her, right? New voters, yes. I mean, I'm going to draw a sort of graph here in midair, but if you look at turnout over, percentage of people who turn out by age, it sort of goes like this. You have this blip at the beginning when people are like 18, 20, it's their first election, then it goes like this, and then it goes up like that, right? And so for a long time, this end of the spectrum has been the Democratic end, where they, even if they are independents, but they are liberals mostly, and they vote for Democrats. And so that is where Democrats always had troubles getting those people out. Now, interestingly, this race actually has a lot of support for Harris at the other end of the spectrum, which is good news for her, but she still has a base of people who are less likely to turn out and vote. And so they're doing these ads targeting Stein and revealing her for who she is, but they also need to make sure they're doing everything in their power to get as many of those people who are even thinking about voting.
But when you say a base of people that are less likely to vote, are you just saying that, like, yes, we know the die-hard MAGA fans are going to vote all day, every day, yesterday, tomorrow, and they're going to go to a rally. But just because her base is not as fervent wearing 16 hats and a flag outside their house, does that mean that her voters are less enthused or less?
No, I'm talking structurally. Structurally, it is less the case that younger people vote than older people. And their jobs make it so it's harder for them to get away. They don't know at home. They move all the time. And so they have to re-register to vote, and then they forget about doing so. They're not in the habit of voting. They have less income. Like, there are all these factors that make it so that younger people are in the military and people of color are more likely. Yes, and they just don't know. They don't know what to look for.
One of the biggest Google searches for Gen Zs about voting is, what do I wear to vote?
Sure. Like, you have to wear the uniform. Exactly. They need to know.
Really? So, I know exactly. Honestly,
you know what, question? I want to cry because you know what I thought she was about to say, because I just interviewed a bunch of college students who were saying we can't figure out what the policies are, and I thought you were about to say, no, these young people people are interested, and they just don't know what the policies are.
There is,
oh
and
my
I don't need to be facetious, but there are a lot of new voters that it seems like such a foreign thing to them, right? They don't know the rules of voting, and this is like they live in a digital world. They don't like. I have lots of Gen Zs that work for me. Even picking up a phone call
for voting,
but they don't
They're
necessarily
also
know
anticipating
that.
the selfie they're going to take with that.
that's what it is. I want to look good.
Yeah.
That blows. That blows my mind. I have to ask. I know, like, people hear Donald. Everything Donald Trump says goes in one ear and out the other. But this talk this week of Donald Trump talking about the enemy from within, he still does have a lot of support from law enforcement. He still does have a lot of support from people from the military. Do they hear this? Does it make an impact?
Yeah, he has a lot of support from a lot of people, but I think he's right about this being the enemy from within, but it's him.
Right.
I said this on Joy's show earlier this week. He is the #1 threat to our national security. He is what General Milley called a fascist, right? From our national security community, they have continued to identify him and what I've called the American insurgency that he's created, and the propensity for violence, the encouragement of violence, the insurrection. He is our #1 national security threat, and every national security advisor has said it. You've got General McChrystal, you've got General Milley, you've got Admiral McCraven. They have all said it. And they're kind of ringing the bell for the American public to say this is more than about politics. This is about our national security, because even if he loses, he is still a major threat to our democracy and to the integrity of this country. So he's right. It's the enemy from within, but it's him.
But your point about the police is well taken. I mean, I looked at the data, I think after the 2020 election, there was a big spike in the number of contributions from people who said they worked for a police department or identified themselves as police officers or captains, lieutenants, so on and so forth, who were donating to Republicans and to Trump in particular. He's been very active about reaching out to police. He's been engaging them, and you see this response. I don't think there's been polling of police specifically, but yeah, I mean, as someone who fits within the enemies within category, apparently, since I'm a member of the mainstream media, yeah, I mean, that's not a good nexus. Right?
But after January 6th, that's what I don't understand.
But it's baked into the party, too. It's generations of the Republican Party saying we're strong on national security. We care about the police. We care about first responders. The Democrats are making up ground there, but we're talking about a generational messaging push from the Republicans, and the brand hasn't baked in.